whatever you need, go get it, guys. Seriously. Whatever you need, go get it. Don't expect it to come to you, but oh, one day it's just going to come that lottery. No. Okay. My mentors did not become millionaires by waiting for the lottery. They went to get it. They did something for it. Okay. The same thing with depression. Don't wait for that realization to come. Okay. Unless you are just way out of depression and just need one puzzle piece, then it's going to come. But otherwise, if you're in deep depression, it's not coming. Sorry. Okay. Go get it. Go get your own potential. Go get your own happiness. Don't let go of the pain. Do it.
Hello, this is Voice Your Mind podcast from Listening. Welcome to our show where we talk about the unheard who have no one to share about their insecurities and past trauma, or even having difficulty opening up to people when feeling down. On this show, we will be discussing everything about mental health, depression, and suicide. We listening are just ordinary people who are or were in your similar state and are currently encouraging ourselves and learning to improve our state of mind. So here we are, taking a step towards motivating you to get better with us every day of the week. So without any further delay, let's get started with the episode.
Welcome to our today's episode, and our today's guest is Lennyr, and I think I pronounced it correctly at this time. And she's one of the premier life strategists and who is focused on not only solving life problems, but coming up with measurable and specific results that will improve one's relationship, health, and overall life. So our today's aim is to learn more about her and get her insights and enrich our listeners, which is you. And so let's get started. That's it. Like, there's nothing formal about it. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mahmoud. Thank you for inviting me to your program. I know you're absolutely amazing, so I love you to death. So thank you for inviting me here.
You're also amazing. That you know, and you absolutely know it.
Yeah, after you do what I do, okay, in my job, yeah, you have to be amazing or you don't have a choice on the matter.
So there is no option other than being amazing at the moment. Like, and at least nowadays, right? Right. Okay. Okay. So let's get straight into it. So tell me about your background and like who your story. So how did everything got started for you? And yeah, that's it.
So I was born in Romania. If you know Romania, it's a third world country where over 40 years ago, it was a lot of suffering and a lot of people, alcoholics and all that. Okay. It changed a little bit this time, but that was 40 years ago. Since the age of 12, I had a physical condition called S-shaped scoliosis that gave me pain to every step I was taking. And I couldn't even sit down in the classroom for a whole year. I had to stand in the classroom and write because
What's
the pain
that
was
disease? What's that disease?
S-shaped scoliosis.
If
It's a spinal cord disease. That is, the spinal cords get twisted. And it's like an S shape. It's like where you see the head of a snake, you also see the tail, and that's not normal for the spinal cord. Okay, everything gets twisted here. And because of that condition, I ended up with all kind of fibromyalgia, headaches, back pain, of course, and even 2.5 years of not being able to sleep in my life. And it didn't matter even how many, pills I was taking. It was a tremendous amount of pain. And at the age of 19 and a half, I lost it and I was suicidal. After that, I went to university to study psychology, hoping that somebody has some kind of help for me because I felt there was nothing wrong with me. I was just very, very in deep pain. And nobody had any kind of solutions for us, the therapists, the future therapists. So I did not pursue a profession. And I ended up moving out of the country in America and living warrior life. This is how I call it, where I was working 80 hours a week and I was just fighting with life until the age of 38 when I was diagnosed with the same disease my mom died from at the age of 55 overnight. It's when I realized that I'm not going to make it to the age of 55. I will end up with my child being an orphan because I had a 9-year-old child. And it's when I decided to let everything go and get the hell out of depression, because depression was the way of living for me for the last 27 years. I hired for mentors, and in 7 months, everything was changing. Everything I meant, all the back pain disappeared. The same condition with no back pain. Insomnia disappears. All the headaches, migraines disappeared. The depression disappeared. Everything changed in my life. My child switched immediately from being depressed to not being depressed. Everything turned like 360 degrees, unimaginable, right? In just a very short period of time. And I thought that I am the last person in the world to get out of depression. I was super happy. And, I was just living a total different life. Wasn't working 80 hours a week anymore. It's when I realized that a lot of people are still depressed out there. And now I help others through the same journey as I went through, because everybody deserves to be happy. And nobody should be in suffering. Doesn't matter if you're a young adult that deals with depression or if you're a 70-year-old adult that deals with it. It doesn't matter if you have money, if you don't have money. It doesn't matter. Everybody deserves to be happy. So this is my story.
That's amazing. So, like, I'm very shocked. So, how did you actually turn your life in such a short time? Like 7 months. It is really a really, really short time.
No,
Right.
actually, it was the longest time it took for me, because I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. So I just, went all over the place. So now we have clients that get out of depression in 9 weeks. In 9 weeks, not 7 months. I shortcutted it. Okay. I figured out the formula. Okay. I did not know what I was doing. Okay. I just was desperate not to get my child in depression, not to die, right? I was just absolutely desperate, and I just took desperate measures. Now we have a formula. Now we have a strategy, okay, of how we do it. And we can help others in shorter periods of time. But this is what, exactly what you mentioned, Mahmoud. You think that 27 years of depression, or in my case, 3 generations of depression, because everybody was depressed 3 generations before too. My mom didn't die because she was happy at the age of 55, right? We think that it takes another lifetime to fix these problems, and it doesn't. It only takes courage to take control of your life. It only takes the right strategies, the right formula, and it actually does not take time. It's amazing. Now you see why I'm amazing too.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew it the moment we just like talked, like the first thing that he said. Like I knew it right then and there. Okay, so you actually mentioned courage. Okay, so how if someone is already suffering from depression, and they don't have the courage at the moment. So okay, before going into that question, so how do you define that courage to take action in that position in life? Before going into that
So
question.
first of all, you have to be aware of that you did not choose depression from the grocery store, right? You didn't pick it up. You don't want to be there, right? But you can get out of it. And only you can get out of it because you're the only one suffering. It's your life. It's your pain. Okay? Now, you have to do it with guidance. I never met anybody in my life that does it by himself because you don't know what you don't know. I knew everything about what the psychology school taught me and about my mom's pain and about what I thought was life. I knew nothing. I only knew how to live in pain. That's a very different game of getting out of pain. That's a very different game of living with no pain. They're different games at, at your life, right? And most of us were stuck in that depression because guess what? You know, I didn't see anybody coming out. I just didn't see it. So if anybody was even promising that, I said, whatever, I'll do whatever at this point, all right? I just don't want to die. I don't want to leave my kid an orphan and all that. That was it. But this is the truth, Mahmoud, is that we don't see what we don't see. And at this point in life, know that you can get out of the situation. And then you will find your mentor. You will find your guide. You will find the signs that will bring you out. You will find your way. But know it's possible. Never quit on yourself. Never quit on yourself because you tried everything. I did too. And I know how impossible it looks like. But you haven't tried something that you don't know because you don't know it. And that's actually the solution. Does this make sense, Mahmoud?
It does. It actually does. And a very short thing that to add here. So I think there are two sets of people when it comes to depression. Like not actually in terms of depression, but let's say in terms of learning new things. And as you mentioned, like as you already mentioned, there is one set of people who actually fear and like think they cannot do it, and there is another set of people who are, let's say, excited to do the unknowns. So I was exactly in that situation, but there was always excitement for me to figure out the thing that I haven't done yet.
So there are actually three types of people in depression. Okay. The first one I call prisoner of depression. I'm sometimes nice and I call lost in the labyrinth of depression because I don't want to call people prisoners, but this is how they are. They're imprisoned by that pain. And that's usually generational pain. That could be your pain from your culture, like the American Indians here, the native Indians here in the US. They have been, in genocide for the last 500 years. That's serious pain, right? They're just like prisoners of that pain, right? And their youth kills themselves 50% every single year. 50% of their teenagers die every single year because of that pain, okay? So that's the first category, the prisoner of depression. The second category is the warrior. The warrior is like taking the pain on the shoulder, okay, taking his armor, and guess what? Man, I gotta go to work. I gotta feed the kids. Forget about this sadness thing that I can't solve, right? I'm just gonna do whatever. I'm gonna take pills. And they end up around the age of 40 waking up with health problems like I did, or with children suicidal. And then we're like, why is my child suicidal? Because you ignored your pain. Okay. And there are the three categories, but the third category is the magician chained by depression. And you see them, they did a lot of personal development. They're pretty good. They're usually single all the time. And they're missing something. It's like a secret that they're missing to be happy, okay? And they're usually missing mentorship. They don't have a mentor to guide them through their blind spots because they also have blind spots, right? So the three categories of people in depression, yes, the first category, they believe they cannot make it out. These are people suicidal, super, super depressed. And they only have to know that they can, because if I am today a life strategist who was suicidal, yes, anybody can. I don't have 2 heads. I don't have 15 hands. Okay. I'm just a normal person. So yes, it's possible. The second category, stop finding excuses where you're not, looking at your pain and looking somewhere else to run in life, okay, to accomplish something, because accomplishments will not bring you happiness. Okay. And the third category, yes, they need usually a mentor to see their blind spots, to see what are they missing, what is that little secret that they're missing. And I had a customer yesterday calling me at 2 a.m. He's like, I got it. I'm like, at 2 a.m. Really? Okay, thank God I wasn't sleeping, but really? Okay, please. Please, do you realize it's 2 a.m.? Oh no, I'm from Europe. And I'm like, I know, but you were so happy when you get that one realization that you need to be happy. Just one thing that you just realize, like, yes! I'm like, okay, all right. This is how it is. And sometimes this is it. But you do need guidance because you can't see what you can't see. There is a bridge out there to get out of a situation. You don't see it. You just don't see it. There is nobody guiding you through it. You're going to turn around 15 times because it's like, where is this thing? Right? So this is why guidance is very important. This is why I couldn't make it up by myself. I needed mentors to do this for me. Personal mentors, one-on-one mentors, not people on the internet. Okay? So this is very important to understand. It's possible. Okay? And a different category, depending on where you are, it's possible in different ways. Different skills, different strategies. Okay? It's all a strategies. But results, they happen. And they happen sometimes within 3 days. Sometimes within 3 months. Some people are slower like me. They take 7. Okay, I was slow. You're laughing, Mahmoud is like, oh, really? You slower?
No, 7 months is comparatively really like short time. If we see the people who are suffering for years and years and they are trying to get out for years and years and years.
Yes.
So like,
this is where guidance with a specific strategy, with specific skills comes in. You don't go, should I do meditation? I had Buddhist clients. They do meditation since the age of 5. They're 60. Okay. They were depressed for 55 years. Okay. That doesn't work. Should I do a diet? That doesn't work either. Okay. Sorry. You can diet. It's going to get a little bit better, but please don't diet too much. Okay. Enjoy life, man. Seriously, enjoy life. Come on. After all, life is to enjoy, right?
It's all about food. Like enjoyment.
Exactly. After all, it's food, man. I mean, seriously. Okay. So all of these people come with coping mechanisms, thinking that this is going to get them to the other side. Crutches like medicine, like therapy for 12 years, like asking support from their family, who, by the way, is hurt. How the heck are they going to support you when they're in the same ditch as you, right? So we're all looking for the magic pill. And we actually don't understand that the magic pill is inside us. We just need the guidance to get it out. The potential is inside us. But we have to make the decision because it's our life, our pain. It doesn't matter who hurt us.
Okay, so how can a person understand that they have that potential inside them? So you mentioned the third category of people who are already working on self-development and like improving themselves constantly, and they are thinking that they have what it takes or like to be happy. They're missing something, right? Okay, so in that sense, they know that they have something. So what's missing then at that moment that they know that they have something? So you said they have to know that they have something. So what's missing that at that time?
So usually your emotions, specifically your negative emotions, they're your navigational system. Okay. So if you worry, that means you can't make decisions. If you're angry, you want to control something and you understand you cannot. If you have anxiety, you haven't solved some kind of problem in the past and you're afraid of the same problem occurring in the future. These look like subconscious mind, things. But if you understand how to navigate these emotions, you are guided to exactly what you need to do and what you need to find that little secret in your life. For many people, they have them all in depression, right? And they come to me, it's like, man, I tried everything. Help me, right? And then I give them a different strategy of guidance, right? I take them from relationship skills that don't have with others or with themselves, emotional skills that they have no clue about how to deal with these emotions, right? And mental skills, they don't understand that their mind is the one that keeps them in depression because they think they know everything. Like I did. I knew everything. I knew everything about depression. not about getting out of depression. That's a different game, right? So there are different strategies, different skills that we need to learn. And why we need to learn them is because you only overcome depression once in your life. It doesn't happen the second time, the third time. This is not like we're remarrying someone, okay? It doesn't work like that, okay? You only get rid of it once for your entire family, not only one for yourself, only once. This is it. It's game over. Then you can go and play the game you want. What do you want to be in life? Why you're not at the point right now, right? So these things matter because we're only making this effort once. That's it. And as we get out of it, everything changes. Your story changes. Your perspective changes. Everything changes. Your life changes. You won't be able to find people that hurt you. You won't be able to find people that are toxic around you. They don't exist anymore because you see their pain. It's like, I'm not going to fall into this trap, man. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Right? So things like this, that you only make this effort once, and that's it.
Okay, that's actually really interesting, that point that is said. So I did never, like, have never thought that you have to get rid of depression once. And what is actually getting rid of depression once? Don't you fall back into that same state if you're in the same place? Like, how does that work? So you're in the same place, and how do you, just by learning on just a few things, just a new few things,
So
it can
let
get
me
better?
explain. There are only 5 things that put you in depression. There are 5 emotional wounds. This is how I call them. Some people call it trauma. I call it emotional wounding because trauma is very a traumatizing word, with all due respect. Okay. Okay. So there are only 5 emotional wounds. There is rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice. This happens to all human beings. If you have noticed, Mahmoud, it doesn't matter in which country you are. You're still suffering from depression, man. It doesn't matter if you live in a $1 million house or if you're homeless on the streets. Depression is there, okay? Very simple. Because of how you feel these 5 emotional wounds. When I guide people out of depression, first I give them the skills that I mentioned: relationships, emotional, and mental skills, right? And these are very important because these are your skills to never slip back. It's like you're insulating yourself. It's like you put walls around the house, right? Because you just want to live with no walls, right? Very simple, right? And then all these 5 emotional wounds, they're different way how to let go of pain at different levels: rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice. But you're doing it. I'm only guiding you. I'm only telling you do this. Next time, when you feel rejected, you're like, oh, I know what to do now. I'm not going to slip back in this. I know exactly what I have to do, what skills I need, how to talk myself out of it, right? And each one, I don't usually guess, because if you have all 5, you're suicidal. 100%, guaranteed, okay, when you have all these 5 ones. So I'm not guessing here. I just show people how to remove each of them. And then you know, okay, you're gaining some weight. That's humiliation, honey. I'm sorry to tell you, okay? Work on that. You have some liver problems. That's anger. Work on that. You have some headaches. You add some resistance to brand new energy. Work on that. You know exactly what each symptom in your body means, what each emotion means, because you fixed it. I only guided you. So you can't slip back. You just can't. Unless you're really suicidal and you love pain so much. Okay. But the idea here is that as we're removing negative energy, we're bringing positive in. And we're filling our heart with love and light. So how are you going to just get rid of that love and light? You can't. It's yours now.
Okay, that was
So I
okay. So I never thought of things in this perspective, like, ever.
I know, because this is amazing, right? And this is what I do.
And literally no one, I of all of the people I've talked with, I've never came across someone who have talked the things that you said.
We're only 5 people in the world doing what I do. I don't know any others.
So
But
why is
four
it,
of them are
why?
mentors.
Uh,
Four of them
yeah.
are my mentors, and I'm number 5. Okay. I actually combine all their teachings because this is how it is. You know, you really don't know what little realization gets you the hell out, right? What real thing makes the whole world to change. I had clients who never finished my depression programs because they just had one realization. It's like, I'm happy now. I'm like, man, you didn't even finish 20% of it. What are you talking about? He's like, no, I'm totally full. I'm like, I still want you to finish. No, I'm fine. I'm like, what? Okay. You never know what that one thing that switches everything for you. And it's different for each person. So this is why I combine all my 4 mentors' teachings, okay? Because they worked for me all 4. So why shouldn't they work for everybody else? And they do actually. We have 100% success rate. So we're very happy about that.
Okay,
And not everybody finishes a program. They're happy without finishing it. It's crazy.
yeah, it happens. Like this is how people are. Like they think, hey, we got it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So I had one question that in my head. So maybe I forgot. In just 1 second. Mm, okay. So how can people actually educate themselves on this? Before that, yes, I just remember the question. So why is it actually only 5 people in the world is doing what you're doing? So why are not why aren't other people doing it? So aren't people interested in this topic or something?
So I don't know exactly why, okay? But I can tell you one thing. When you get out of depression, you don't know how fast to run away from all depressed people on this planet, okay? Because you're out. It's like freedom, man. It's like you're just like a spaceship, right? That can do everything you want in your life. It's like you caught God from a leg or something, okay? I made it. Yes, I'm happy now. Yeah, I've never been happy. Everybody in my family died from being unhappy. Now I'm happy, right? And nobody wants to go back to hell to pick up other people from there. Okay, come on, let's face it, Mahmoud. Okay, let's face it here. Who wants to deal with more depressed people when you're not depressed anymore? Okay, happy people are with happy people, and depressed people are with depressed people. It was very hard for me to, how should I say, live in both worlds. And I do live in both worlds. I'm not joking. I live with people super enlightened, millionaires and billionaires, okay? And then I teach people in depression how to get out, right? So it's like 2 different worlds you live in. It's hard. It's very hard because you talk to different people at different levels. Okay, even what I said today, you're just hearing it for the first time. It takes people a little bit of realization that, oh, damn, this is possible. Otherwise, they don't even care. I don't care how it's possible. Just get me the hell out.
The real
Right?
realization is, does this even exist? Like this thing exists?
Yes, it exists. I didn't know about it too. Trust me, I would have saved my mom. She wouldn't have to die, right? So I don't know why not many people, but this is the truth. You have to go back to hell to save other people. Okay. And I'm good at what I do. I consider actually that my mom's death from depression, that I almost died from depression, and my conditions, my medical conditions, because I have to do this job, because this was my purpose in life. But after you get out of depression, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to come back to save anybody because they're going to find their way out when it's their time. When the student is ready, the master appears. I guess more people were ready to get out of depression with me. That's why I'm not.
I'm actually really thinking about the last line that you said, like the master appears when the time is right. So
But student is ready, yes, when they're ready.
this,
When they're not,
this
yeah.
yeah. So this actually happened multiple times in my life. Like even like not just in this area of a site, like this area only. Let's say when I was studying in business, I randomly found a mentor.
Yes.
It was
Yes,
random.
exactly.
Like it
Need it.
was.
Exactly like when you needed it. Not 1 year before, not a year after. Exactly when you need it. Yes. And this is what's amazing. Yeah.
Like it's like magic, right?
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
is.
That's the law of attraction for you. That's actually the law of attraction. For people who are in deep suffering, the law of attraction doesn't work for them because you attract what you are. And when you are in pain, you attract people in pain. So for people who are very, very hurt, they first need to get rid of this pain. And then the law of attraction works for them. But the way you can circumvent that is exactly what you're doing, finding the right mentors to guide you to where you need to be that have a result that you want, you need. So through people, the universe and God is actually giving you everything you need. You just have to freaking grab it.
Okay, so although I did not intend it to bring on any topic related to the law of attraction. So, however, as you already mentioned, so I want to learn more in terms of what's your perspective in terms of law of attraction, and how can actually people get advantage, like in a way take advantage of it.
So what you have to understand is that if you're hurt, you're going to attract hurt people in your life. Okay. So one of the reasons why I didn't even know that depression is a fixable condition is because nobody fixed it, man, in my life. Okay. No, nobody in my family. They all died from it, right? So you attract your bunch. Okay. Once you decide to open up to different perspectives, to different things, you're going to see there are people like you, higher up than you, that you're going to learn more. And then you keep climbing. I call it climbing the tree of life. You're climbing it, you're growing through people that can help you, that are there for you. And trust me, when you get to a level of no depression, those people never want to hurt you. They're happy, man. They have no problem in hurting you. They have no problem with you. Okay? Only hurt people hurt people. And they only hurt people because they're just swinging their pain from one to another. They don't know how to take care of it, how to get rid of it, how to transmute it into love and light. It's just like fake love. Deep down is only anger. So as you climb your tree of life and you go to a different level of your life where pain is going away, you will find different people in your life. You will attract exactly their bunch. And then a different level, and then a different level. One of my mentors says, if you have the same friends for 30 days, you have a problem. You should change friends every 30 days. That would be a measure of how fast you're climbing the tree of life. Because you should leave everybody behind in 30 days and grow higher and grow higher and grow higher. And what we do, after 40 years, we meet our best friend in childhood. And then we're wondering why we're depressed.
So the fact is, I'm still in my childhood, so in a way, so I do have a set of people who I hang around with still now. Like I and I enjoy it. Like it's not like a small group of people, and they're amazing. And they're friends from school. However, I am consistently meeting new people. I think
Yes.
that's a good thing, right? Even I
That,
met you. Like listen,
yeah,
I met
that's
you.
me. Yeah, I blew up your mind now. It's like, I've never heard this stuff.
See,
I've never heard it either. Okay. When I was in pain and suffering, I never knew this thing exists. Okay. This is why we are staying in pain, because we don't know what we don't know. We don't even know it's a possibility to get out of. And then how are you going to choose it? You can't make that choice because you just don't know. Right? So this is why I tell people a lot of times our mind is keeping us in suffering and depression because the mind doesn't know how to help us out. It just doesn't. It tells you this is impossible, this is impossible. You can find out now, never, after 20 years, right? But it is possible. And this is mind blowing, right? And many people, for example, they call depression, bipolar, anxiety, PTSD, they call these mental illnesses. They're not really mental illnesses. They have to do with emotional pain, emotional wounding. They're actually heart conditions. Yes, that pain stays for generation. It shows in our genes, it shows in our body, and it does change the brain in time. Of course, after 27 years, you're joking? It does change things, right? I mean, come on, let's face it, right? It's a lot of pain on your shoulders. Imagine carrying pounds and pounds of pain every day. But that doesn't mean there is no way out. It doesn't mean that. It just means that we don't know what we don't know. And as soon as we know, that's it. It's that one realization. Oh, now I got it. Now it's possible. Now nobody can stop me. Now I know why I always felt I have a tremendous potential deep down inside me, but I never knew how to find it, how to unlock it, how to make it work. It kept me prisoner. This pain kept me prisoner.
Okay, absolutely. So how can people actually educate themselves on this topic? So you mentioned three things. One was mental, and mental. You mentioned mental in the third place. Another one was emotional, and I actually forgot the other one. Mental, emotional, and which was the other one?
Relationships. That's actually the most
Relationship.
important one. This is what puts people in depression. Relationships. Everybody comes to me. We have a program specifically designed calling Healing from Heartbreak. It heals people from heartbreak in 1 month. Okay. They all come to me depressed. And when I looked into it, it's like, you're not depressed. You never healed from your heartbreak 12 years ago. Okay. You're not depressed. You just have a heartbreak problem, right? So this is relationship is the most important one, because it's not only relationship with a partner, it's relationship with your parents, relationship with the pain you have, relationship with your kids, with the boss, with your friends, with yourself. If you think that life is suffering, your relationship with yourself is, I have to suffer because this is what I believe. You have to change that relationship, or otherwise things will only be suffering for you for the rest of your life. Okay. So relationship is very, very important. I talk about it as much as I can on podcasts. Honestly, I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to keep up with my YouTube videos. We have free masterclasses available for people. We have a lot of things we're trying to educate people about, because it hurts me when I see so many people not knowing where to go and what to do, and trying to educate themselves, and they don't know where to turn. And I really don't see this information anywhere out there. Maybe there is, and I'm busy with my stuff trying to teach it, but I don't see it anywhere out there. And it's important. It's very, very important, because this is the difference between a person who has tremendous hardship in life and a person who gets out of it, and other ones that cannot get out of it. The same hardship, the same thing, right? For example, I had a client who was depressed. She was a magician, chaining depression. It took 1 hour to get her out. It was easy. It was easy. Okay. But she was raped. She was raped in her youth. And I said, how did you overcome this thing? You want to work on it? He's like, no, I'm done with that. Long time ago. I'm like, how did you do it? Well, clearly he was a nobody. I turned around and said he was a nobody. I never been raped. I don't know if I could have gone through that just in one day to say it's a nobody, right? So these are people who have skills that insulate them from depression. And maybe, they need one realization out there to turn happy in different areas of their life, right? And these are other people who, after a rape, man, they never get over it, right? So this is why the relationship, the emotional, and the mental skills are insulating us from getting into a ditch of depression where we can't get out anymore. And that happens to everybody. Guess what? Nobody is immortal, right? So it's okay to grieve, but it's not okay to grieve for 25 years or 5 years. Okay, that's not okay. That's not normal, right? This is why most cultures grieve for 1 year only, right? I see a lot of people who the first thing they tell me is like, my sister was killed 25 years ago. I'm like, you're still grieving for 25 years, right? So there are things that we have to understand, that even grieving is a level of suffering that we do not choose, but we can remove, because it stops us from moving forward with our life. It keeps us prisoners. It keeps us chained. So these are the three skills that you mentioned are very, very important to insulate people from depression. Now, if you're already in depression, you already have those five emotional wounds, there are different skills to let go of those. Each one of these emotional wounds has different levels, and it affects different parts of your body. This is how you know if somebody has it or not, after the body type, after the illnesses they have in your body. Okay? So, for example, somebody that has heart attacks or has high cholesterol, they suffer from betrayal. Very simple. Okay? Somebody that has strokes, they suffer from injustice. Right? So you can actually tell this pain, how it reflects on a physical body that cannot take the toll of so much pain. It crushes at some point. You have to understand, it's like, imagine like moving stones every day of your life. Of course your body will collapse.
Absolutely.
Right? This is exactly what I was doing since the age of 12, moving stones of pain all my life. No wonder I was in pain at since 12, right? And it was amazing because, at the age of 41, I climbed a mountain in Capri in high heels, by the way. And after I already 400 stairs. You have to climb 400 stairs to climb a mountain, by the way. Okay? And then go down 400 stairs. I could not do this at the age of 14. I could not do this at the age of 14. I could barely walk at 14. At 41, I go 400 stairs up, climb a mountain, 400 stairs down in like 5 hours. This is what's amazing about letting go of this pain. You let go of all of it. Everything, physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, everything changes. It's amazing. So yeah, I laugh when I say that at the age of 41, I felt better than at the age of 14. And at the age of 38, I felt like 83 years old because it's in so much pain I was. It's amazing. It's amazing how much pressure we can put ourselves, how much suffering we can take until we decide to let it go, because it's all garbage after all. It's suffering. It should be in the garbage.
It is garbage. The suffering is. Okay, so where can they start educating themselves? Can you say first place is always your videos and the videos you're putting out. So what are the other places that can they actually educate themselves on this topic? These three topics, which about relationships, mental, and I keep forgetting this is
Mental and emotional.
Emotional.
So for relationships, as I said, I don't know who talks about this stuff. Okay.
Suggestion books.
For relationships, everybody thinks that their communication is the first thing in relationships, and I tell people, how did that work out for you after 2 divorces? Because that did not work out for me, right? I was listening to all these gurus on the YouTube and the internet, and I was like, everything you say here didn't really work out. I went through 2 divorces. Okay. So that didn't work this way. So relationship is amazing because there are actually 4 types of men and 4 types of women in the world. Each one you have different communication skills with, depending on who you are. Each one has different levels of pain, and they can choose to get out of it. It's amazing, right? And I never knew this stuff. I found out at 38, right? About the relationship course that I took, right, with one of my mentors. So I don't know who talks about this stuff. I talk about it all the time. Okay. But emotional skills, you have to understand that your emotions are your superpowers and they're there to navigate. You can navigate with them through life. If you feel anxious, you have to find the trigger. Why am I triggered? What's the problem? Not to run away from it. Not to say, oh, I'm triggered, let me run away from it. That doesn't solve anything, running away, right? What we're always told is like, oh, don't trigger people. I'm like, no, trigger them. So you find exactly what their problem is. And they can solve it because they see it. They see themselves triggered, right? And the mental skills is like you have to understand that the mind will always keep you in what it knows. In this case, it keeps you in depression because it only knows depression. Okay? So you need to befriend it. Please don't cut off your throat, okay? Okay. This doesn't help, okay? You still need your mind. But you need to learn how these tracks work. And you need to befriend it so it will work for you to climb the tree of life, not against you to stay on the same branch and you don't get anywhere. So these are the 3 emotional skills. We always have programs about it. We always talk about it as much as I can, okay? But as I said, if you're already in depression, there are a different level of healing. There are 5 emotional wounds that have to be healed, each one separate. The good thing about it, these are life skills. These are life skills that you only have for the rest of your life and for the rest of your family life, okay? So, for example, in my case, I kept asking my mentors, how do I make my child happy? How do I get my child out of depression? How do I? And they said, no, you be happy. It's got to be a crazy guy. He doesn't understand English. He doesn't understand what I'm asking. What is wrong with him? I kept asking the same question over and over again. It's like, no, you be happy. I said, what are you talking about? My kid is depressed. No. You be happy. At the end of it, I understood that my kid was happy only because I was. He received that permission that he can be happy in life. Nothing else mattered. He didn't care about toys, pets, books, computer. He saw his mom happy. He was happy. That was it. Okay? We don't realize that happiness is, contagious. Contagious. There are a lot of people who are going to be, jealous a little bit that you're happy just because they don't know how to be, right? But it's contagious. Once you are in that bubble of love and light, everybody else is in the same bubble. You attract people. I get my clients all the time saying, like, you're the happiest person I ever met. I'm like, that's quite pathetic, thinking that I'm an anti-depression coach. I'm the happiest person you ever met. If you think about it, this is pathetic.
Oh.
I made you laugh, Mahmoud. But this is how it is. When I went through this journey, I never knew anybody happy except for my mentors. Nobody. I've never seen happiness. Okay, I thought that happiness is only in the movies, where they, have to play a script, so they pretend it's in the movies, right? But actually, happiness exists, and getting rid of depression exists, but not as we were taught. Not with the things that we have tried, like doctors and therapists and all of that. And some people are with church. They think that if they read the Bible a million times, they're going to get out of depression. And I said, how did that work out for you in the last 40 years, right? We have to understand that we're not against religion, we're not against God, we're not against church here, not against doctors or therapists. But think about it. In the last 20 to 40 years, if we would have had solid solutions, nobody would have been in depression. Nobody would have been suicidal, right? We did not have solid solutions. We did not ask the right questions to receive the right answers. We just didn't, okay? Shaolin monks had these answers all the time. We never asked them how to be happy. Himalayan yogi masters had these answers all the time. Nobody asked them how to be happy. We asked people that were therapists like me, that was there to study psychology because I was suicidal. How do you expect somebody to help you when they are in pain? You look at the doctors. 60 to 80% of them suffer from depression. How do you expect them to help you when they suffer from depression? I have so many nurses and clients that suffer from depression, right? We did not go to the right people to ask the right questions, to receive the right answers. We just didn't know. Now, with the world of the internet, everything has changed. No more excuses.
Yes. And still, like, even though we have internet and the information is flowing, there's limitations when it comes to like discoverability. Like, it's people are not discovering these topics enough. Like, so on the floor,
They're
enough
not
people
looking
are
for
not.
help.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not
not looking for it.
Yes, exactly. Okay,
Right.
I'm not sure you knew what you were looking for when you asked me. You thought that I'm just gonna share my story of depression. No. Okay, I'm gonna share the story of getting the hell out of depression. It's a different story. So sometimes, we stumble upon these things by mistake. Okay, with all due respect, I'm trying my best here. Okay, to be all over the place, but we have to understand that we are responsible for our own pain, for getting out of it, for getting the right information, okay, for making the right steps. And we're also responsible to realize that if people would have solved depression, it would have been eradicated by now. Okay, this is not like leprosy, okay? Doesn't work, right? If anything else would have solved, if the Bible would have solved depression, fine, you have a Bible for 2,000 years. It would have been eradicated by now, right? So God in the universe is giving us the signs how to do it a lot of times. We just don't see it because we've never been conditioned. We've never been taught of how to see these signs. When my mom died at age 55 overnight and I was 26 years old, that was a sign that get the hell out of depression or you're going to die. I didn't see that sign for another 12 years until I almost didn't die from the same condition. The sign was there all the time. I just didn't see it. I was just blind. When you're in pain, a lot of times you're just blind. You just don't see anything but your pain.
Agree to the core of it, like completely. Okay, so there is one reason why I asked, like, if there are any other sources of like educating ourselves, because I think you have mostly programs, and I literally don't get any programs at the moment. I read books, like
I
the
know, but
books
everybody
are
tells me to write a book about it, but the truth
yeah,
is
you
I don't
should
have time, guys. I don't. I barely have
just
time to
just
write a
just
blog.
record it. Okay, you can do it. Like I think Gary Vee does it. Like record it on the phone. Just record it on the phone, and have someone just write it for you. Like that will be like crazy amazing. Like people like me. I don't get, like, I used to get into like different courses and stuff, but now I don't get into any courses. Like not even one. Like, cause I see like it doesn't work for me in that way. Because books are like my go to place for books.
On the other side, Mahmoud, you have to understand that the reason why we have courses is because you can't talk your way out of depression. Therapy has proved that. Okay. Therapy has proved the fact that otherwise, we would all talk to each other because we're 7 billion people on this planet, and we would never have depression. All right. If we would be able to talk our way out of it, okay, it would have worked already. You can't talk your way out of it. You have doing to do. That is doing, practical doing that you have to do, not to talk your way out. A book won't be efficient. This is one of the reasons why it's not one of my priorities. That will educate people in possibility. They would not help them out. They need to do some doing. Each person that I work with has different blind spots. But I see them. They don't. Okay. So yeah, there is a course, but there is also one-on-one with me because I see the blind spot because I've been there. And they don't even realize it's like, oh, I never looked at the world this way. I'm like, I know. That's why I'm here for to guide you, right? It's not only a matter of a course that you do by yourself. It's a matter of guidance. This is why getting out of depression is extremely expensive. I charge extremely little compared to my mentors who are charging $80,000 for 1 day of working with them. We're talking about a freaking house, okay, in America, $80,000. That's a lot of money, right? Because they can't work with 1 million people at once. They cannot. They don't have 1 million days in a year. Very simple, right? So these things can be expensive or cannot be expensive. For example, a program where you only see me once a month or an hour, that's not so expensive. That's not a whole day, right? I can see 12 people that day, right? So this is why the programs work, because there is some doing that has to be done. And you will be shocked, even how many of my clients I have meetings today in 3 hours, okay, that have not done their homework. They're in the middle of a program and they're like, a family member got sick, I got sick. I'm like, yes, the universe is testing you to see, do you really want to get out or you just want to delay another 6 months, right? Doing is what's going to get you out, not reading.
Agree.
When you read, you educate yourself. It's just about the possibility exists. You have to do the doing to get out. And then you need one-on-one mentors to see your blind spots, because for each person, you have different blind spots at different levels of your journey. So this is why we're doing courses and we're doing books and talking.
No,
Therapy never helped anybody. Just complaining. It's just complaining. That's it.
yes, but yeah, even then I'll say like books are like why I'm saying books, because you can like give homeworks there like on the book, and I've seen I follow a lot of one of the things that I follow to the code to this day. From the book, I forgot the name of the book, but it's by Jim Quick. Uh, it like one actually I read it on 2 books, but most probably like yeah. That is, if you want to learn something, you do it. If you're reading or you want to focus on something on the code, then do it in 25-minute increments. Do it for 25 minutes, give a 5-minute break, and then do it for 25 minutes again. Like yeah, so I use this like every single day. Every single day, almost on all the tasks, excluding writing or like solving a few things. But I do it on 99% of the tasks that I have in hand, like 25 minutes of doing and 5 minutes of break and 25 minutes of doing. Like that's
There are different techniques. Yeah, different techniques. Some of them are, in a program, okay, and some of them I have to do it in person with people. It doesn't work like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is how it is. When somebody joins a program like this, I want to make sure they get out. Not that if they don't want to continue of their own will, that's a problem. You can't push people, right? You can't force them to.
You cannot
to do something in your life, right? But theoretically, I want to give them all the tools and all the support they need, because sometimes they need a longer support. Like a parent with a suicidal kid needs a little bit of a longer support. Even if a parent, gets out of depression and it takes longer for the child, for example, to trust the parent. Okay? Because if a child was suicidal, clearly didn't trust the parent in the chapter of happiness. Okay? This is why he ended up suicidal, right? So it takes longer. Sometimes it takes different levels. And you can't really, as I said, you can't really talk yourself out, talk out of depression. It doesn't work like that. Otherwise, we'll just keep talking nonstop. It doesn't work like that. Or I have people that said, affirmations will help you. I'm like, yeah, call me after 3 months. See how that works out. serious right now, right? It's deep pain inside it. You have to remove it and fill it back up with love, because this is what the heart wants, love. The heart doesn't want pain, all right? So you have to, it's a process of doing this, not looking in the mirror and said, I'm beautiful. And like, yeah, you're 600 pounds. Believe that image or what you say. I mean, come on. Okay. I mean, some things are really, really ridiculous out there. You know, I understand their coping mechanisms, but they're fully plain ridiculous. Seriously, you know, it's great for people who just, I don't know, they want to ignore their pain, and they think that, you know, with little things, with like little crutch, maybe it will go away. It doesn't go away. They wake up at the age of 70, is like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, right, you ignore the pain for 70 years. Time to get out. This is how it works. You cannot ignore this thing. It's negative energy that's inside you. You need to let it go.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's it. And the fact, the thing I loved was that you mentioned that you help people so that they go through the programs, or like, and you try to ensure when you're writing a book, you're seeing that 90% or like 98 or 99, I don't exactly know the person, but the majority of people, majority of people won't do what the book says. Will never do, even if you say this step by step, like this is the worksheet, follow it and do this on this
That's why I'm
day.
saying it's unuseful.
They're not going to do it.
It's
But-
not useful.
Yeah, and there are people like me who are gonna follow it. Like that. Okay, I ensured that.
But you're not in depression, Mahmoud.
That kind of
You
a point.
you just need that one realization. You don't need to go for an entire book of 3 months of work. Okay. It's different. It's different. There are different levels, okay? There are different interpretations, right? Many people believe that it's impossible to get out because they tried over and over again. I tried numbers of times and I thought it was impossible, right? So it's depending on which level is everybody and when they're ready to get out. And many people are never ready to get out. They hold on to that pain so tight. It's like, it's mine, it's my identity. And that actually is going to kill it. Time doesn't heal depression. Time kills. Very simple. Nobody's immortal, okay? So, you know, yeah, a lot of people said, oh, I'm going to feel better in time. Okay, call me after 20 years. Okay? We don't realize that it's in our power to let go of it. And something else that I see a lot of people being very, how should I say, proud of themselves because they're resilient. And they think they're strong because they carry the pain with them, right? I'm like, you're not strong and you're not resilient. You're just addicted to pain. Being strong is switching everything in your life, letting it go. Being resilient, it only means holding on to pain. There is nothing to be proud of. It will knock you out in one way or another. It doesn't matter if it's by health issues, by anxiety, by a child depressed. It will hurt you sooner or later. There is nothing to be proud of about resilience to pain. Let it go. That's something to be proud of. All my clients, even myself, you can never tell us that it's something we can't do. Because if somebody tells us, they said, I overcame depression. What's next? What's next? That's fine. Don't tell me I can't do something. Of course I can do everything I want. It's a decision if I want to or not, right? Once you get to that level, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Because you achieved the impossible. That's it. You already achieved it. Even if you die tomorrow, you already achieved it. There is nothing to be sorry about. It's amazing.
Okay, so I took a lot more time than I promised. A lot more time because the topic was so amazing. Yeah.
I know it was amazing, and I got you mute a couple of times. It's all right. It's amazing. It's amazing because it's possible, Mahmoud. It's possible. We didn't know this. People died for hundreds of years in this situation. They didn't know this. Kids are trying to kill themselves every 40 seconds out there because they don't know this. So thank you for putting this up. Thank you for doing what you do. Because you don't realize who listens to this, and you might save 1,000 lives during the lifetime of this podcast. You don't realize it. You just had a podcast, right? That's it. And you don't realize how many lives you probably saved just by this, taking a little bit longer than usual. We don't realize that just by speaking out, somebody listens, somebody hears us. We change everything. We can change everything. It's very simple.
Absolutely. Okay. So, again, sorry for taking the extra time, and thank you for holding up on this. Okay. So, two things, and we are going to wrap it up. One, so you mentioned that I have one realization to figure out. So, how can I find that realization? Because I'm not depressed. I don't think I'm depressed. It's just sometimes I go back to the sad mood. Like, that's rare. But sometimes.
Yes,
Like,
for you, it's finding a mentor. For you, it's finding a mentor. At your level, it's finding a mentor. And what I suggest, sometimes you have to go through a couple of them, right? And what I suggest, you go with that mentor until you exhaust their knowledge. Until you learn everything from them. And then you move into another. Until you learn everything. And sometimes you don't even have to learn everything because at the halfway, you already got it. Okay? Or even, quarter way, you already got it, right? But it's important because I know somebody that she was a very good friend of mine and a client at the same time. And she had the same mentor as I did. But I had another 3 ones, all right? We only had one common. And she thought that, I do what the mentor does. And when I told her about the other perspective, she was like, that's exactly what I was missing. Right? That realization came up at 2 a.m. Okay.
Yesterday.
Exactly. Okay. So, sometimes it's just you go in one direction and then you go in a different one. And sometimes you just need one realization. Yes. But what we do is we want to play a different game in life. For example, you're probably not depressed. You know that you have something to accomplish, nevertheless, right? There is a secret that you don't know about life. Very simple. That's what doesn't make you happy at all, right? That one you need, that little puzzle piece you need to go to the next game in life. You can get there. You're almost there. Just need the piece. Okay, I'm not psychic, or I don't know which piece you're missing in your brain. Okay, please don't burn me at the stick here, being a witch or something. Okay, but as an idea, right? You need to find that piece. You need to find that piece of a puzzle, and then it's amazing because then you play a different game, whatever game you want to play, right? And it's always a different game. For example, I was invited in less than 2 months to a celebrity conference. I've never met a celebrity in my life in person. Actually, I do, one of my mentors. But now I'm going to have like 100 celebrities around me. I never played this game. Okay, it's scary, right? But this is a possibility you have when you're not a suicidal kid anymore. You're somebody. You're using your potential to help others. People notice. People invite you, right? It's like, come with us. You're part of us now. I'm like, who, me? No, I was suicidal at 19, right? So if we keep ourselves to the level that we were, and we don't find that little piece of a puzzle, we cannot climb forward, okay? But as we do, this is it. When we can play the next game, the next game, the next game. Does this make sense, Mahmoud?
It absolutely does. And this is actually the most confusing thing, to actually figure out what's missing. So
Yeah.
if I'm learning diverse set of books. Let's say it's a, like this is my learning pattern. I take 10-20 books of one topic, and then finish it, then jump on another topic. So every like it feels like every time I learn a new topic, it's just a new puzzle that added to my life.
Yes.
Every
Yes, but this is
time.
why I suggest direct mentorship, because none of my mentors wrote books.
Yeah. Why? What's the reason in it? Like
Because
books.
you can't see the blind spots of a person unless you're working with them 101. You really can't see your blind spot in a book. Okay? You can't generalize. When you're writing for somebody in a book, you generalize. Okay? Which means I have 3 different categories of people to get out of depression. Which one I'm going to write the book for? You realize that you need to understand who you're writing it for. You're writing for
Absolutely.
a suicidal or somebody like you. Big difference. Big difference. Different book. Okay. A total different book, you see? So this is why you need to see people's blind spots. And some of them, they go very, very fast in their journey once they get it. And other ones, they take a little bit. They take a little bit longer. Okay? Maybe there is more pain to be clear. Maybe there is doubt about something, right? So it's everybody goes to different levels at different pace. That's why I suggest, for somebody that's just missing a puzzle piece, mentorship, one-on-one mentorship. That's the only way you can find that little puzzle piece. But yeah, what you're doing adds up. It adds up to your life. It adds up to the next level of your life. That works too. Sorry, I don't have a book for you.
Okay, let's forget about the book. So how can you actually identify the right mentor? Like right mentor as in like in a specific domain. Because there are different type of mentors. Right, like
Yes.
there are a lot of different set of mentors who are doing this topic, and this topic. Like they are mentor of this topic.
Yes.
So how do you identify that which topic that you actually need to learn, or like which mentor you have to go to?
Which one you feel drawn to? Which one you feel closer to?
That is the most confusing part. I don't know. Like I don't know yet as of now that which mentor or whom I'm
For
looking
me, there were a two of them that I can talk to in public because I have their permission. One of them was Master Surya Krishna, and he is number 1 authority in the law of attraction. I wanted to attract good things in my life. Can you blame me? Come on. I did, actually. Okay. Through his mentorship, I did. The other one was J.P. Fox, who is number 1 wellness and business coach in the world. Okay. He's a millionaire. Okay, both of them are, right? I felt drawn to them because I needed how they think, what they have, the knowledge they have. I felt drawn to them. Another mentor that I felt drawn to is Forbes Riley from Forbes magazine, the actress. Okay, she's absolutely amazing, right? I felt drawn to her because I needed what she wanted to teach, right? So who do you feel drawn to? What do you want to learn? What is the next step for you? Think about it. Not only for you, for everybody in your audience, right? And go towards that. You need to learn the game out of depression. Go to a mentor who does that. You need to learn law of attraction. Go to a mentor that does that. You need to learn business. Go to a mentor that does that. Okay? Whatever you want to learn in your life or the next step of your, go to it. Go to it. And maybe you don't have money to work with them 101. They have cheap group programs. Okay? You can follow them and just, get knowledge. Okay? For example, Forbes Live has a program for $19. Okay? And then you just follow her, all her teachings. And it's going to be fine, right? You can't spend $19 on a short program of 2 hours. Come on, let's face it, right? So things like this that sometimes it doesn't have to be millions of dollars. Yes, if you can afford millions of dollars, you can get Tony Robbins. He only charges $1 million a year. Okay. So if you can afford him, no problem. Okay. It's a different level of your life, right? So go with what you can, with what you feel drawn to, with what do you want to accomplish, depending on your journey in life. To me, it looks like you want to accomplish more knowledge, more secrets of the universe. Am I right, Mahmoud?
In a wider sense, in a wider sense. Why I said in a wider sense, because not just, yeah, figuring, I'm still figuring out life, and I'm in the process, and I'll be figuring out my life throughout I'm living. Like that's this is life, right? However, there are a few specific goals in terms of business that I want to reach. So those are quite important for me, you can say.
So you need a business coach, a business mentor.
And luckily I have one.
Yes. So you see, so at different levels, whatever you need, go get it, guys. Seriously, whatever you need, go get it. Don't expect it to come to you that, oh, one day it's just going to come that lottery. No. Okay. My mentors did not become millionaires by waiting for the lottery. They went to get it. They did something for it. Okay. The same thing with depression. Don't wait for that realization to come. Okay. Unless you are just way out of depression and just need one puzzle piece, then it's going to come. But otherwise, if you're in deep depression, it's not coming. Sorry. Okay. Go get it. Go get your own potential. Go get your own happiness. Go let go of the pain. Doing is doing. It's not dreaming. Everybody says, oh, if you dream about it, if you don't take any action, the dream is just a dream. Doesn't go anywhere. It's just a wish. Okay? It doesn't manifest for you. You need to take action. You absolutely need to take action. This is way out of depression. This is a way out of whatever level of your life is. So you continue to grow. Very simple. And yes, sometimes it's going to cost money. You invest in yourself. But you know something? If you invest in a business coach, you're going to get more business too. You're going to make more money. Very simple.
Absolutely.
We have programs for people who can't afford to pay for our programs. We have affiliate programs, for example, where they get 50% off and they have the opportunity of making money. Because we understand that depression hits all areas of your life. It's relationships, it's health, it's money. It hits everything, right? So it's fine. You have possibilities for everybody. Doesn't mean that, you have a great excuse because there is no money. Don't worry. You want to make money? Here it is. Okay, we even help you make money, right? So things like this, that a lot of times we stop 1 second before we could climb that tree because we don't know one thing.
Absolutely. So that will be it for today, because I've taken like crazy
I
time.
have
Okay.
I have a free gift for your
Yeah,
audience.
I actually forgot about that. Okay, please share it with us.
Yes. So you can, guys, go to lifestrategywithresults.com and take a 12-question assessment. It's a proprietary assessment where you will find out at which level of your life you are. Are you lost in the labyrinth of depression, a prisoner of depression? Are you a warrior or you are a magician? You will receive a video personalized for each one of these problems from me. So you know exactly how to move forward with solid tips, not the baloney. Okay. Right. Solid tips of how to move forward in life depending on your situation. Life strategy with results.com. It's just an 8 minutes assessment. That's it. 8 minutes. Plus video at 3 minutes the assessment and 5 minutes the video that you watch. It's 8 minutes. That's it.
Okay, for helping the listeners, this link and the social links will be in the description. Okay, so and one thing. So other than the website, so where can our listeners connect with you online? Listeners and the viewers as well.
So right now I'm also on lennyr.com. We have on this lifestrategywithresults.com. We have testimonials, we have the assessment. And for anybody else that needs to reach me, I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Clubhouse, and I'm usually as Roxy Lennyr, Roxi Lennyr. There is a reason for that. Most of my clients call me Roxy Foxy because they said that I trick the gates of hell to let people out of depression. So most people know me as Roxy, you know what I mean? So don't worry, guys. You can find me. Okay, I'm on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to be everywhere as much as I can. Okay, you can also attend free masterclasses that we have all the time in our descriptions on Facebook, everywhere. So don't find excuses not to overcome pain. There are none. These masterclasses are for free. All right. So please don't find any excuses out there. Okay. This podcast for free. All right. So I know that sometimes, we need to digest more information and we need a little bit of time to figure it out. It's okay. Listen to this podcast again. Download it. Take pieces of it. Okay. Digest it as much as you can. But no more excuses to stay in suffering because it's only hurting us and the people around us. It doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, exactly. So, all the links that she mentioned will be in the description, and I'll make sure to connect with her and make sure to take the assessment test. I think I'm a magician after talking with you, as well as I know so far. Okay, so that's it for today. This is your host, Mahmoud, and our today's guest was Lennyr, and that's it for today. Goodbye, signing off.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And that's the end of today's episode. I know taking action is quite a hard job to do, so I hope the advice and insights we got today will help you to take the leap of faith and pursue your dreams. You can share your story with us through the first link in the description box, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on the Apple Podcast. We will come back with another episode. Till then, keep healing, learning, and growing. Thank you.